That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best.
Terence Crawford has turned into a beast in training, and even Roy Jones Jr. recently expressed his shock. Crawford has been intense, especially since the press conference ended.
I don't want either one of you guys to get hurt.
While many thought he was intimidated by Canelo's confidence, Terence Crawford used it to fuel his determination. He's been proving it in training camp, with his coaches pushing him harder in the gym. Speaking about his preparation, Roy Jones Jr. said, "Canelo has clear advantages over Crawford, but Crawford's coming with so much confidence and he's training like it. I saw some clips the other day. This guy now hits harder than ever. His shape and speed make him look like it's still 147.
How does that go down? Just break it down for us a little bit. We want to see it obviously happen.
I ain't gonna break it down to you.
No,
you know what I mean?
How it's gonna happen.
The strategy is me leaving with my hand, rolls, and everybody mouth dropping. That's how I can, sums it up in a little bit of.
Terence Crawford means business for the Canelo fight, and he's proven it with intense training footage that has fans and boxing professionals talking. Crawford has found the right weight, methods, and techniques to face Canelo Alvarez. Now it's just a matter of how he performs in the ring on fight night. He recently released his first training footage, showing him shadowboxing in the ring as preparations begin. The American let his hands go, showcasing his range of skills, including a crisp jab and sharp combinations. Notably, Crawford's physique appeared bulkier, a clear sign he's already working toward the fighting weight. The boxing community has had mixed reactions to his current form. One commented, "Sharp as hell, he went up in weight, gained more power, and maintained his speed." Another added, "He's looking good. Looks like he's going to try and outbox Canelo. He can certainly win the fight that way." One even added, "Crawford looks super sharp and smooth as usual, he's going to get the win, Canelo is slower." Others weren't as convinced, with some suggesting, "Looks to have lost his speed, looks slower, this could be bad." Another user agreed, adding, "Looks slow, old, and nearly 40, Canelo will retire him." A final fan concluded, "I'm not counting him out, but he looks slow in this division." It remains to be seen how Crawford will look on fight night. The American competed at his natural limit of 147 pounds for years and is already a four-weight world champion. A win over Alvarez could cement his legacy as a true great. With 3 months to go until the career-defining bout, he's already begun camp. Crawford has shown he can overcome challenges, including his hard-fought points victory over Madrimov last year. Alvarez holds natural size advantages and will likely enter the ring as the favorite. But Canelo also struggled in his last outing, unable to break down William Skull despite becoming undisputed champion again in May. Crawford knows that a victory would be the greatest of his professional career and the biggest statement he could make. He believes he holds certain advantages that can help him beat the Mexican star. "We're going to see come fight time what my advantage is," he said. "I'm the type of guy who likes to feel my fighters out and adjust to what they're doing. I think that's my greatest attribute, being able to figure out every opponent I've faced so far. I'm looking to do the same come fight night. When the Canelo fight happens, I'm going to feel great at 168 pounds. I don't need to worry about the weight, I know I'm going to feel great." Two-weight undisputed champion Terence Crawford faces the biggest test of his career as he prepares to take on two-time undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez on September 13th in Las Vegas. One of the greatest mind games Crawford has played during this build-up is denying that he's actively training for the fight. In a recently released Ring magazine video featuring Dana White, Tom Brady, Shaquille O'Neal, Canelo, and Crawford himself, the topic of training came up when Brady asked how hard he was preparing. Crawford's response was unexpected: "I'm not training hard, I'm not even training, really." He explained he was avoiding early burnout. "When I go to the gym, I give it my all. I don't want to be overtrained. I want to save it all for the fight."
Right now, I'm not training hard. I'm not even training, really. I don't want to overtrain because me personally, when I go in the gym, I give my all. And I don't want to burn myself out.
While surprising, Crawford's approach may be more calculated than careless. He emphasized strength work and recovery over constant high-intensity sessions. His strategy contrasts with fighters like George Kambosos Jr., who was hospitalized for exhaustion before a scheduled bout. Overtraining is real, and Crawford appears determined to avoid that pitfall. However, there's important context to his comments. The video clip was filmed before Canelo's May 3rd fight against William Skull, suggesting Crawford's lighter training phase was months ago. Since then, signs point to a clear increase in intensity. Just last week, Crawford arrived in Riyadh for a press conference and was seen training at the Mike Tyson gym.
I ain't scared of shit, and you're gonna find that out. As you seen, the last press conference,
we'll see.
when I walked you down, when you were supposed to be the bigger man.
Yeah, hey, you say that because you're fighting with nobody, and you obviously look like you're a great fighter. But you find out September 13th, this is gonna be different for you.
And it's gonna be different from you as well.
Question for Canelo.
The last fighters that you fought.
In footage shared by Ring magazine, Crawford was seen completing a full workout that included shadow boxing, heavy bag drills, jump rope, and core exercises. The session made it clear that training is now in full swing, with Crawford looking sharp and focused. Interestingly, he hasn't requested any catchweight clauses, rehydration limits, or even a rematch clause. "I want him at his best," he said of Alvarez. Confident in his preparation and skills, Crawford is leaving no room for excuses, win or lose.
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since
Everybody.
2002.
Mention me one. You mention me one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me. It's gonna be me.
I don't care about nobody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stuff a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? You're gonna be just like everybody else. Watch. Watch. Same shit that everybody else been saying.
As the bout draws closer, questions remain about whether Crawford's approach will give him an edge or leave him unprepared. One thing is certain: Terence Crawford is betting that patience and precision will carry him to greatness. The highly anticipated fight between the undefeated Terence "Bud" Crawford and Mexico's Canelo Alvarez, set for September 13th in Las Vegas, will capture the boxing world's attention not only for its magnitude but also for growing speculation about Crawford's future. Influential voices within his circle, including a key figure from the Mayweather dynasty, suggest that a victory over Canelo could mark the end of his storied career.
Your answer right there.
Hi, Terence. What do you think about the match?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm chasing Canelo. I think that's a broad statement. I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter in today's sports of boxing, other than myself. And I would just,
Despite the significance of the fight, Terence Crawford has remained quiet about his post-fight plans. During a recent Q and a session with fans in Sydney, Australia, Bud emphasized his focus on the present. "I don't eat before I have the food on my table. So right now, I'm at 168 to fight Canelo, and that's the only thing I'm thinking about." However, the most direct statement came from Jeff Mayweather, a respected trainer and uncle of Floyd Mayweather Jr. In a recent video shared by the Mayweather channel, Mayweather offered a prediction about Crawford's future. "I think if he beats Canelo, I think that will be enough for him.
Just like to, fight another great. That's it. I think it'll be the biggest fight in the sport of boxing today."
Terence, one thing as well, one of your former opponents, and I know you said hi to him yesterday, Amir Khan was here obviously. There is rumors, and he actually said that he's speaking to Jake Paul's team today for a potential matchup. There's talks with him and KS.
When asked if Crawford would retire after a possible victory over Canelo, Jeff Mayweather didn't hesitate. "I think so. I think that would probably be one of the greatest achievements in boxing, a guy moving up 3 weight classes. If making boxing history isn't enough, Terence Crawford will also secure a massive payday for the Canelo fight, with earnings estimated around $10 million. That figure alone could be another reason to consider retirement. Regardless of this payout, it's important to remember the wealth Crawford has already accumulated from his career, estimated to be between $8 and $18 million.
Amir Khan stepping into the ring of the influencer scene. What happens with these guys? You've been in the ring with him.
Amir Khan too small for Jake Paul. Jake's is too big, so we're just gonna leave it at that. Amir is my guy. I just think Jake too big.
What about KSI? That's on the table as well.
KSI and Jake could be a better fight. I think. Would you like to fight people? We're in 2 different weight classes.
Terence Crawford has a great opportunity against Canelo, as defeating the Mexican in a boxing match is no small feat for Crawford. This fight could signal retirement, but a win might also inspire him to extend his legacy. A victory wouldn't just bring a new title or a massive payday, it would elevate his image and possibly fuel his motivation to continue. Amir Khan, who faced both Crawford and Canelo in his career, understands the challenge of jumping 2 weight classes to fight Alvarez, having moved from welterweight to middleweight for their 2016 bout.
It's between them. Canelo's strong and he's easily hit. Very easily hit, very easily. Yeah. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't hit clean. They both hit hard because and you could see the strength when I was fighting against Crawford. He is very strong as well. So look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go?
When I was fighting Canelo, I was probably beating him on points, but he was just so strong and so big, Khan told Sky Sports. When I was hitting him, I could see it wasn't affecting him. The guy was riding them and waiting for that one big shot, which he caught me with and put me away. But is he going to catch Crawford with that shot? When Khan faced Crawford, the American dropped him in the first round and stopped him in 6. When I fought Crawford, he was probably stronger than me, and I was a 147 pounds fighter for a very long time, Khan said. At the moment, Crawford looks unbeatable, and Canelo looks strong, especially fighting a smaller guy, he looks unbeatable. So let's see how this plays out.
What are some of those goals that you want to get, or what's like something you just have to achieve in your career?
Just fight the best and try to do the best fights out there and that people enjoy, like I always do, moving up in weight classes and go down and win world titles. And that's the only thing I want in my career.
Khan warned against writing Crawford off against Canelo. Not at all, because Crawford is such a technical fighter. If he just boxed him technically, and Crawford puts on the weight well, he's a big 147 pounds fighter, Khan said. Massive difference in size matters, but let's see. We also know that Canelo's a bigger puncher. Has he got the same stamina? He seems okay when he fights, but it's tricky because, is skill going to win that fight, or power? I'm not going to predict who's going to win, but I know it will be a hell of a fight.
Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam, but,
Khan intends to return to the British boxing scene as a promoter after ending his boxing career in 2022. He's promoting a show in Ghana on Friday, which features O'Hara Davies making his return to the ring. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a new chapter, Khan said. I'm making sure I've got a good stable of fighters. From my own career, I've learned so much. You take bits and bobs from each promoter, he added. I've developed my own ideas and used the information I've picked up along the way.
Components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean?
I'm going to be doing shows in the UK, but I felt Ghana would be a perfect start, he added. I want to keep improving every time. Oscar de la Hoya is never one to avoid controversy, whether in the ring or as a promoter. The boxing legend has built a reputation for speaking his mind, often sparking heated debates in the combat sports world. From criticizing questionable matchups to questioning rival promoters' credibility, de la Hoya's bold opinions keep him in the spotlight.
Now what the media is reporting, and it's circulating, is that Canelo Crawford is the biggest fight of the decade. I mean, to a purist and a fighter, it's laughable. Because you have Crawford jumping up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, who's a natural light heavyweight.
On Thursday, June 12th, the boxing legend and promoter took to Instagram for his Clapback Thursday segment, delivering a harsh critique of the upcoming Canelo Alvarez vs. Terence Crawford superfight and UFC CEO Dana White's sudden entry into boxing promotion. The Golden Boy questioned the legitimacy of the matchup, Crawford's chances against Canelo, and White's qualifications as a boxing promoter. One of de la Hoya's main criticisms was the size difference. Crawford, a natural welterweight, is moving up 2 divisions to face Canelo, a seasoned super middleweight. The biggest fight of the decade? To a purist and a fighter, it's laughable, de la Hoya ranted.
Crawford, who couldn't push back Madrimov? Life and death with Madrimov. What do you think Canelo's gonna do to him? Run him out of the ring! You know what's laughable also? Dana White being named the promoter of this fight, considering he's never been in the boxing space. Has no stable of boxers. He didn't negotiate.
You have Crawford jumping up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, a natural light heavyweight. Crawford, who went life and death with Israel Madrimov, what do you think Canelo will do with him? Run him out of the ring. De la Hoya reserved some of his harshest criticism for Dana White, who was initially announced as a co-promoter for Canelo vs. Crawford before reports emerged that Saudi Arabia's Sela had taken over. The boxing veteran didn't hold back, saying, "You know what's laughable also? Dana White being named the promoter of this fight, considering he's never been in the boxing space, has no stable of boxers, and didn't negotiate anything.
And is being handed this fight on a silver platter and called promoter. He's the trust fund baby of boxing. That's it. The trust fund baby of boxing. And get this. The fight will take place during the day on September 13th in Las Vegas. During the day. So Canelo will fight during the day on Netflix just to accommodate UFC Noche later that evening on a different network. So does that mean
De La Hoya doubled down, claiming White was handed the fight on a silver platter and still called a promoter. He is the trust fund baby of boxing, De La Hoya said, referencing White's partnership with Saudi power broker Turki Al-Sheikh, whose deep pockets have fast-tracked UFC's parent company TKO into boxing. This isn't the first time De La Hoya has criticized White's promotional tactics. Last month, he launched a similar tirade, arguing that White's UFC model wouldn't work in boxing due to the relatively low pay MMA fighters receive compared to boxers. De La Hoya's rant isn't just about one fight, it's part of a larger debate about boxing's future.
Why is it that Canelo has to fight during the day on Mexican Independence Weekend? And UFC with a roster of names I've never heard of is going on prime time. Cinco de Mayo. He's fighting in Riyadh and now he's fighting during the day on the biggest weekend in boxing. Yeah, Canelo will fight anywhere. Anytime he's told because he doesn't give a fuck. All he cares is about the money. Doesn't give a fuck about the fans. about tradition, the Mexican weekend tradition.
With white, Alalshik, and traditional promoters like De La Hoya and Hearn clashing, boxing's power structure is in flux. What are your thoughts on the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford? Do you think Terence "Bud" Crawford isn't taking his training seriously, or is he just playing mind games with Canelo? Are the boxing experts right to pick Crawford over Canelo? Share your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for now. Stay tuned for the best updates on boxing news, events, and highlights by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our latest content. Until next time.